So now we go in North Macedonia. One small thing that I have to say. I said the last video that Albania was part of Yugoslavia. Is not. I put it in the title. I put it in the description. I don't know why I was talking about Albania, and in my mind it was like Serbia. So no, Albania wasn't part of the Yugoslavia. Nothing to do with whatever happened then. So yeah, just mention it here. Now back to the video. North Macedonia or Macedonia. I think they have even some beef, I would say, with Greece about the name of the country. Greece have a region that calls Macedonia. This country have wanna at least have the name of Macedonia, and they think there was some sort of a clash there, and now they end up with a Northern Macedonia. Fine, I guess, not much big of a deal. As we can see, it's a landlocked country. They have an opening to two lakes here, so I guess they have some water, and another one here. Well, population is very small, which is exactly how it should be. 1.8 million people here, but let's see how they're doing. Let's see how well they live here in the Northern Macedonia. And thankfully we have some pretty decent data to look out for. So yeah, here let's go on this lake. Let's see how nice it is. Already see some really nice mountains there. This is from 2016. Now Macedonia, or the Northern Macedonia, was part, hopefully again I'm not gonna make the same mistake, part of the Yugoslavia, so we're gonna see, I guess, some influence there, but let's see. Again, we're making those ex-Yugoslavian countries. We're gonna see which one is better now. Here so far the road is pretty good. I guess again a lot of those Greece, I would say, not say taking from them a bit with architecture, I guess, with how they build things, how they're doing things. So we're gonna see a few relations, let's say, with them. I see some garbage here, which I don't like it. So far the landscape is pretty nice. The roads are decent, and this is 2025. What else can we see here? Probably this lake is some sort of a short line for the resorts and hotels and things. Probably is doing pretty decent there. But as we can see, yeah, it's pretty nice so far. Again, 2022, so very recently, a lot of those hotels, which looks a bit unfinished. I mean, this one, I'm not sure exactly what they're going for. It doesn't look that appealing, just leaving the exposed bricks like that. But yeah, who knows? Maybe they're going for that, but doesn't look so well, in my opinion. This one has a nice house here with a nice land. Good for you, buddy. They have those small cars that I hate. I mean, I like small cars, but not that small, not this type. For sure, a lot of cars, so they like cars here in Northern Macedonia. Pretty good, especially from 2022, not so bad. The lake looks pretty good. This is July, so yeah, pretty much summer all day long. Let's go here in this town. Let's see now in the urban area how well things are going up there for them. Again, those apartment buildings, huge minus for me, and these unfinished houses again. Probably this is in the construction, so I don't think they live like that. But yeah, hopefully they're gonna fix that. But it's kind of huge house. I mean, why you need like 1 story, second and third one? It's just like, how many people are there? What else can you see here? Yeah, not exactly the finest architecture or the finest urban code, let's call it like that. They didn't hit their home with wood, which is pretty bad. This is from 2014. Okay, so more than 10 years ago. Maybe by now they changed that, they moved to the heat pumps, who knows. We're gonna see how economically how well they're doing. Judging by this picture, not so much here in 2014, but yeah, maybe it's too early. Judging by the position, I would say that the prime real estate is gonna be in this area. Looks like some sort of old town or something like that. Yeah, I like those nice streets. I mean, this is pretty good. This is like, feels like a German feeling, I would say, here. And those streets looking pretty nice here. Wow, that's pretty good. And even those cars, I mean, look at this. That's a nice, what is that, a Fiat? I'm not sure. Looking very nice. That's probably a perfect car for this type of streets here. It does look very nice in here. So see a huge, absolutely huge change. Yeah, that's what I want to see. That's where you want to go in a vacation. That's where you want to be. Let's say have the hotel in this one, not the early one that we saw. This is from 2014 also, so more than 10 years ago. Yeah, I'm not gonna judge that much about car, judging by the length, the widen of the streets. Yeah, you cannot go with big cars, but even here looks pretty good. Looks pretty good. I like it. Oh, another one of those small cars. It was recently there. Let me check that. Can go back. Oh, look at it. It's another one of those small ones. Looking pretty nice. Yeah, some houses, especially this one, doesn't look so great. But most of them, they look really good. I mean, look at this one. That's a real house. Even though I don't like urban areas, like I said, I always prefer to living in a countryside, which I don't. Wow, I would live in a house like this. I mean, look how nice it is. And it's more stores on this house, but it does look great. I mean, that's Switzerland. That's Austria to me right here. It just looks great. I'm not sure exactly how cheap it's gonna be to live there, but again, this one's an expensive car, yeah, but judging by the other cars, could be affordable. I'm not sure, but they're looking very well. I mean, this part of the town, that's exactly how it's supposed to be for the older goddamn town, not just this part. But that's the part you want to live. Yeah, inside you can make any change you want. Doesn't matter all that much. But does look very nice. It did look, this is from 2015. Yeah, car's pretty old. And small sizes. Again, look at the streets. I mean, you can go with big cars here. It would be insane. Some areas, they are absolutely pristine. I mean, look at this. They do look nice. Ooh, that's real. I mean, this graffiti here looks pretty fucked up, but besides that, they looking very nice. Nice views. I mean, that's a real neighborhood. That's how it's supposed to live, like that. Now, in contrast, let's check this one. It's not that far away, so yeah, but way different. Yeah, it's not bad. I mean, we've seen worse. I mean, this one is really bad. Yeah, those apartments been not even close. No, thank you. It's clearly a different, pretty big one. Some areas like this, yeah, okay, pretty decent, but doesn't compare with what we saw earlier. That was an actually nice place to live. This, like I say, this is probably the old town when people supposed to be. When people, there were not that many, let's say, they didn't multiply themselves so much, so you can see how nice even back then they live, and now probably it's even better. And when population grew tremendously, and they have to grow somehow in outside of this nice pristine old town, they end up with things, let's say, like this. And let's see how well they're doing here. Yeah, comparing with that, the house is nice. I'm not gonna say anything about that, but doesn't compare with that nice one that we saw in the old town. And the view is pretty good, but no, that was like really pristine one. That was like, I don't think we see that ever. I don't think, when you check Austria, we see that. I don't remember seeing that. Yeah, I don't. It's just, that was really nice. If you want to see Northern Macedonia, definitely you have to stay on one of those, on those small streets in the old town. It looks amazing. Here, let's check how those people live. Yeah, this is what's happened when you have too much population. Like I said, it's not a good idea. I know the politics now push for just with the name at least. The decline demographic of the West, of the Europeans, the losing of the population getting much, much older and all that bullshit. It has to happen. The problem that's supposed to be, I mean, like, if you was like, I don't see a good politician that would say, look, let's stop for a second, let's rethink this, let's see what's happened in the last 200 years, let's see how people live. And maybe this declining population is actually, we can use it in our advantage. Could be actually a good thing, not a bad thing, and not pushing for those nonsense, stupid policies. So you can actually decrease the population and then make sure that everyone is going to have much, much better life than what they have now. Because look at this. Yeah, it doesn't even compare how those people live with what we saw in that nice small center of the town. It's way too different. It's way, way different. So yeah, I'm waiting for even for the European level, I would say. I mean, look at this. Those houses are nice. I'm not gonna say anything bad about them. It just doesn't compare with what we saw. If I didn't see that, I would say that's pretty good. Although they're a bit too high for this region. But yeah, that one was way, way better. Roads, not in the best condition, I would say. Yeah, don't like that much. But for the other side, I don't see bars on the windows. I don't see barbed wires on the fences. So yeah, clearly way better than we saw with other countries. Again, I have to make some research. I'm not sure if they're in the European Union, but judging by the fact that I don't see any flag, any European flags, especially in 2015, I would say that no, they're not. But we're gonna check that in a second. But yeah, streets looks pretty nice. Even these houses looks pretty good. Again, hitting your home with wood. I mean, you have like a fireplace that would be nice, you know, for aesthetics and all that. But hitting your home with wood, not exactly a great idea. And hopefully those heat pumps, they're gonna get much more efficient and way cheaper. So you can actually, I know, like pay 1,000 euros, and you have one of those heat pumps, and it's just gonna reduce your bill by, I don't know, at least 50% or something like that. That'll be really good compared with how much you pay right now. Those houses, way too big, unfinished, worst. I like those small cars. It looks amazing. I mean, I will buy one of those cars. Just, I mean, like, it's gonna be so much fun having one of those. Even though I see them pretty much everywhere, so I guess there they don't see them at the nice pristine ones, but for me it looks amazing. Yeah, a lot of land here that can be much better developed and much better put to use. Again, group population, even in those countries with like 1.8 million people, which is not that big. Yeah, you see it. Population is still way too big to be absorbed in a nice way that we saw in that old town. Let's check this road. Probably it's a brand new one, so hopefully it's gonna look great. Yeah, it's pretty decent. They have some potholes, but this is 2015, so I guess they improved it by now, or got worse, who knows. Those apartment buildings, I don't know exactly who approved those for construction, but should get thrown in jail, in my opinion. It's just, do not give a permit for those monstrosities. Doesn't even close to have a good house. Yeah, no, that's no, not even. I don't even see it. No, thank you. What else they have here? That was not even finished on one side. Pretty bad. Pretty bad. This, I don't know exactly which town it is, which I'm not that interested in names, but it looks pretty bad. This one, it's a huge one. Who knows? Maybe it could be the capital. Oh, that's a nice road here. What is going on here? It's someone rich people house or what? No, it's a lot of people going here. Wow, it's some sort of a festival here with so many cars here. It's a lot of people coming here. And they have a parking lot here, which probably it's full. Oh, they just go there to have some fun? Like some sort of a park or stuff like that. Okay. This definitely feels like a brand new construction. I mean, brand new construction in the last 50 years. It feels like that at least. Yeah, pretty wide roads. Tarmac look pretty good. Houses, yeah, not on my style of the houses, but I see more so, which is not so bad. Bus station, okay, bus station shows how civilized the people are. Well, except those graffitis, which is kind of sucks, but I think they're on the fence, not on the bus station. Looking pretty decent. Pretty decent, let's call it like that, pretty decent. Yeah, I don't know exactly. That's an apartment building most likely, but don't like it that much. This is 2014, so more than 10 years ago in October. So they're living pretty decent. It's pretty good, right? I don't think it's that bad. For 2014, that's pretty good. But this is clearly a much newer, let's say. This is one of those old ones probably. So let's check those one. Like the main streets with apartment buildings, which I hate, obviously. Same year, 2015. Pretty old, and the cars, they're pretty decent for 2014. That's pretty good. I like the landscape, I would say. Pretty nice trees there. They have a lot, which is good. Yeah, except those apartment buildings that I wish they were never gonna have. Nobody in this world deserves to have those apartment buildings. Things are not so bad. Here, things are pretty bad. What is going on in here? I mean, like, they have the nice, cute, small streets, but look at the construction here. Like, not even close. Yeah, that's pretty bad. And this is, again, 2014. Wow. That's bad. That's really bad. You know, sometimes when you live in an area that you don't like and you are too afraid to move out because you don't know where you're going to end up, you don't know how much money you're going to have, you don't know if they're going to have like a job for you or something like that. When you live in those areas, sometimes I think it's worth taking the risk. Just go for it. Just, you cannot get worse than that. Especially here. Yeah, it's not Africa. So I will bet on the take the risk. They have some sort of small mountains here. Let's check those one. How nice it is. Pretty nice. 2019. Wow, they even have a pretty nice mountains. You can enjoy. Yeah, they don't have an opening to the sea. They have those lakes, but even those are pretty decent. Let me go a bit off the street view to check them. Okay, it's pretty big, even pretty big. Not a huge amount of country, which have a lot of advantages. We don't have that much land. You don't have to have that much infrastructure. And it looks pretty good to me, if you ask me. Again, 2015, pretty good infrastructure back then. Who knows? Maybe they have that period and they're gonna degrade it and then they just improve it back again. So I'm not sure exactly which stage they are right now, but 2015 look pretty good for them. Not sure exactly what they try to dry here in the sun. Again, those cables, South American feeling cables. Don't like it. Some houses are pretty good, others not so much. Yeah, it could be related to poverty. It could be related with the, again, how they build there. But population is going down, I think. Yeah, okay, so they have some hopes, I guess, in that department. When population goes down and a lot of houses going to get vacant, it'll be pretty good. Now, one thing I want to talk about those, I'm not sure exactly, again, in those outside the European Union countries, how housing it is and how easy or nice it is to build a house here. But in European Union, it's already really fucked up. I mean, like, they're already talking about like not having a mortgage of the house from apartment, which is pretty fucked up, of 30 years. And yeah, you can pay it faster. No, they're thinking about paying every month for 30 years for one house. And sometimes I think even US, they want to extend that to 50 years. It just shows how much corruption it is here. That's a really bad street here. How much corruption it is here. It's just they can build faster, they can build cheaper, they just don't want to. That's 100% sure by now. So yeah, they're using the population as guinea pigs, I would say, and also for money bag. So yeah, if you, again, I think like by now, if you survive without the European Union, you should not aspire to one. I think it's just it's nothing good left of that, in my opinion. It's just is as much money as they're gonna give you for whatever things you need here, you might think you need. You can, I guess, do that even a slower pace without them, and even much better, and in some cases much faster. So yeah, it's one of those things like if you didn't got in by now, from now on, it's not worth it. At least that's my opinion. It's just it feels like it's getting worse and worse with every day. And even though on the paper you might say, wow, look how much advances they have in economics, and trust me, in the real life, it's worse than worse. You don't feel it at all. You just feel it worse and worse. Can't afford the house. You can buy pretty much anything those days. You can find a job. So I'm not sure exactly how much propaganda they're using outside the European Union to attract other countries, but it's a scam, in my opinion. It's just after like my country got in 2007, and I don't know. It's just sometimes I feel like it was better back then. For day-to-day life, yeah, you're gonna see a lot of reporters that they're gonna say, "Wow, look at the numbers. Look how much you improve." Yeah, the numbers doesn't tell you the story, the whole story. So yeah, wow, that's pretty nice. It's a nice 360 from above. Look at the mountains, pretty good. Again, those you need to fix by yourself, how the urban planning, because clearly if you have a really good urban planning, you already fixed like 80% of your problem by having a nice neighborhood, a nice house to go home. Anything else can be improved pretty fast, I would say, if you have low corruption also as well. So yeah, European Union doesn't guarantee you zero corruption, by the way. It's just even in European Union, somehow, I'm not sure exactly how they manage, corruption got up. So yeah, that's a lie too. And you see that by numbers, they got up. In real life, trust me, are much higher corruption, they say. I'm not gonna try to, I don't know, just denigrate European Union. They have good things too, I'm not saying no, but what I'm saying is if you survive without them by now, you clearly pass the test that you don't need them. That's for sure, in my opinion. It's just you don't need them if you survive it by now. You can do pretty fine on your own. Yeah, I think Northern Macedonia looks pretty good. I mean, I didn't expect to see those countries again outside the European Union. They were part of Yugoslavia in this case with the Northern Macedonia. They're doing pretty well. I am pleasant surprised, I would say. Yeah, they have a really nice land, really nice landscapes. They have to work on the urban code to improve how those people actually live day by day. But again, if you fix that, we have, like I say, nice home to go, good roads, even education. You can pretty much educate yourself. You don't even need the system, the school that they keep telling you that without them you'll be nothing. No, even without the diploma, you'll still be pretty good, I would say, in a good country with a good relationship that doesn't, like the West, you don't have a diploma, you just, in their eyes, you're not worth anything, just dead meat to them, which is clearly not the case, but this is how they like to say it here. And especially with the AI technology, you can replace a lot of those high degree workers and even inventions by a very short time, I would say. In very short time, you're going to see AI starting to create different things that will take years for the engineers to even think about it. So yeah, you don't even need that too. So like I say, if you survive by now without any outside influence or limited influence, let's say, when I say influence, doesn't mean you do not travel or don't share whatever the outside has to offer. It just, if you've done well by your own by now, and trust me, from now on, it can only go up. So it's not worth it to just give up your ruling law that you have and your freedoms in many cases for pretty much nothing. So yeah, that's my advice for any country that aspires to go European Union at least, or any form of centralized state and letting someone else dictates what you should do and what should not do. So yeah, that's my opinion. Let's go with the numbers now, because in the street views and satellite images and 360, they look in again pretty good. I didn't expect that. I expected, like, here they say any country outside the European Union, it's pretty much a shithole. In Europe, at least. And clearly it's not the case. So let's go with the population. Like I say, 1.8 million people, which is pretty high, I would say, for such a small country. And we saw what happened when the population grew too much. You're forced to build those, at least allowed to build outside those nice center areas, and people, they don't have a good, let's say, design in their minds, so end up with a not so pleasing, eye-pleasing constructions. So look at this. Back in 1955, 1.3 million people living in this land with 1.6% increase rate. That would be roughly around 21,000 people. Migration was minus back then, even back then with 11,000 on minus. Median age 20. Fertility rate, one of those nonsense, 4.2. That was the problem. Density, 54 people per square kilometers. A lot. Should be, like I say, I'm advocating for 1 people per square kilometers. That'll be much better. Urban population around 30% and roughly around 400,000 people to manage, which is pretty high. Such a small country in 1955. But fast forward to 2025, population grew again with around 500,000, 1.8 million people. They go on a minus, on decreased population with minus 0.5%, and they got on minus. Let me check for sure. Starting for 2010. They got on that. So yeah, they see some decrease already, and I don't think they didn't improve how they live from 2010 by now. So again, this lies about population going down and going older is gonna mean 100% destruction. It's not, trust me. Early change now, it's around minus 10,000 people. Migration, again, people living in the country, so probably they seek better opportunities outside with minus 6,000 people, 6,000 people. Median age 41 years old, fertility rate 1.4, so they got below replacement. Let's check the year. Around 1995, okay. Density now is 72 people, yeah, a lot per square kilometers. Urban population 70% with 1.2 million people to manage. Yeah, it's not exactly a good job judging by how they built outside those nice places that they used to have. Forecast, fast forward now, 2050, wow, 1.5 million people. I think it's still too much. For a country like this, by 2050, they should go under 1 million. And with going under 1 million people, we're gonna see much more improve in how they live. And again, pretty soon we're gonna start to see government cracking down on those urban areas that doesn't look that pleasing aesthetic. And I say, when you have we're gonna start to have a lot of empty houses. Probably they're gonna get reclaimed by the government. They get flattened out, destructed, and maybe the land they're gonna bound them somehow together, and they're gonna give them to the population probably for free. I would say that would be pretty good. I'm not a fan of socialism, but when you have the land and it's like, what are you gonna do with them? Just give out to people. Even they, yeah, gonna construct really nice houses. They should start with a much better land and a nice building code, so it can actually have a nice aesthetic of the cities, country, urban areas, and all that stuff. That's how I see it. So 1.5 billion people, it's a bit high, I would say. Early change, this is going down, so almost 1%, 0.83%. That'll be roughly around 13,000 people on minus. Migration, they kind of slow down. They forecast, again, we don't know. Around minus 3,000. Median age 47. Fertility rate stabilized around 1.5. Density 60. Urban population 92%. Okay, pretty high. And 1.4 million people in an urban area. Again, it's one of those cases that we're gonna see it probably after 2025. So from the next year, we're gonna see like people are not moving in the urban area. The urban area moving to the countryside. Be what I mean by that is the countryside is gonna get much better, let's say, funding, and they're gonna fund, and they're gonna improve a lot, which is gonna be pretty much undistinguishable from what they have to the city, to the urban area, to the countryside. And you're gonna start to see urbanized people from the urban areas migrating to countryside, because it's gonna get much better. Life expectancy here is very high, unbelievable. It's 77 years old for both sexes. Females almost 80 and males 75, 76. Pretty huge numbers. Infant mortality rate 5.9 and death under the age of 5, 6.7. A bit high that I would like to see. But again, it's a country that's not European Union. It was part of Yugoslavia. Those numbers also go down. So it's pretty good. It's pretty good. They're doing pretty well there. Let's go now with the economics, with the demographic first. Demographic first, yeah, you see it. See, the base of the pyramid, as opposed to like a pyramid, it's getting narrow and narrow, which again is not a bad thing. I am advocating for those loading population. It's gonna have a much better impact, I would say, in the future. They don't want to recognize it now, but I'm sure, because if they have a lower population, a tremendous one, they have to reform. And then nobody wants to reform. They feel way too cozy the things they are right now and don't want to change anything. But population want to change it, and those people who stay behind and stay in front of the progress, they're gonna get crushed. So yeah, they have again a pretty high surplus male population by the age from the 0 to the age of 50, around that, which is, wow, pretty big, I would say. Otherwise, yeah, the pyramid, like I said, the shape is right here. The probably is gonna get much narrow, and probably the next century, when the population is gonna stabilize, like I say, they should go with, my opinion, again, 1 million people by 2050. I mean, it's too short. It's not gonna happen. So probably by the end of the century, they're gonna go under 1 million people, and then with technology and what they have, try to stabilize that 1 million people and see how things are going. Maybe get even lower to 500,000 people. That would be even better. And trust me, 500,000 people by the end of century in the Northern Macedonia without European Union, that would be like really nice place to live. Just like that would be like really good, really good. So we're gonna see that. Economic wise, well, economically, clearly it's a small country, small population. How better they can do, but let's check them. GDP 18 billion US dollars and PPP around 53 billion US dollars. So yeah, very small economy. The same modest growing number, I would say. Even it's a forecast here is 3.4, 3.2, 3.2, 3.1 by 2028. Yeah, small numbers for the small economy, in my opinion. They are on plus, which is good, but for such a small economy, they should have like at least 10% every year growth. GDP per capita, it's 10,000 US dollars, and PPP around 30,000 US dollars. So yeah, it's 3 times more purchasing power, but still very small. Agriculture 6%, industry 22%, and services almost 60% in 2024. Inflation 3.9, that's pretty high. That's wow, that's really high. Probably, who knows, we're gonna see again some changes again in the inflation. Now they say around 1 to 2, 3%. 2% is better to have inflation. In my opinion, it's bad to have any inflation because they're gonna erode your purchasing power. Who knows, maybe next century probably they're gonna go with deflation. They're gonna like to see everything going cheaper and cheaper and cheaper. That would be interesting to watch. Main export to EU. Okay, so they're already exporting to European Union, but they are part of European Union. Let me check that. Maybe I'm making some mistakes. What I say about them, it's the European Union. It's available for any country. Like I say that Aspire. It's an EU candidate country. Okay, so they falling for this nonsense with candidation of the European Union. Unfortunately, they already trade with the European Union. You don't need them. Trust me. Again, it is what it is. What they currency? I think they're using. Not sure, they're using euros as a currency. I'm not sure. Exports. No, it's not euros. They have their own currency, which is good. So you already export a lot to European Union. They import a lot from them. You do not need them to be part of them. Trust me. You're not gonna have that much benefits. It's like a euro. It's a scam. They just, yeah. It's nice to have. On the paper, it looks nice to have one like US, every state using the same dollars. It looks pretty good, but not confuse that European Union is the total different thing. European Union just showing you how better you can do, but you're not deciding for anything. They even think like removing the veto vote, for God's sake. I mean, like, clearly you're not gonna have anything to say about anything in your own land, so that's insane. Let's go with the corruption. How corruption is going here? Probably again the same average as other countries. Probably gonna go in the northern Macedonia, not with the Macedonia, right? Yes, northern Macedonia. It's 40, which is perceived as more corrupt. They got down 12 points. Ooh, that's huge. That doesn't look good. So probably they were about 50. So they were at some point perceived as less corrupt. Now they got in category as a more corrupt. See, that's you have to fix. How you fix corruption, in my opinion, it's gonna be culture that fix the corruption. Because those new people that are gonna come, they're gonna see it probably by when they were young, how much corruption destroyed their lives. Hopefully, I would say. And when they go in politics, they're gonna see that was bad. I'm not showing exactly it's gonna go for the zero corruption, but we're gonna see a clearly decreasing corruption with the next generation. I would say these old ones is just there's nothing you can do for them. It's just they're in their blood. No matter who you're voting for, if they were, let's say, younger than 40 years old, they're gonna have in their blood much more corruption than the young one. I would say young one realize that you can do much better without corruption. It's just way better. Those old ones, they will never allow it less corruption for them. But they, like I said, they're doing pretty well. Religion is 60% Christianity here, 32% Islam. Wow, I didn't see it, to be honest, but there is there for sure. They have some nice architecture things here, which is pretty good. Yeah, the only bad things it just happened to be like that. It's a landlocked country. Yes, it is what it is. Not much you can do about it. But yeah, even I'm not sure exactly how much you want to visit Northern Macedonia, but living there, it's pretty decent, I would say. Especially, like I say, if somehow they manage to stay outside the European Union and don't fall in this trap, they will do much better on their own than. I mean, there is a reason why Switzerland doesn't go in the European Union. There is a reason why Norway doesn't go. If you go past some point and you realize that you can do pretty well on your own, from now on you can just make it even better and better. At some point, you can even surpass European Union. The things that the way they think the things going right now. Trust me, it's not worth it to just see that we can free travel. We can have just with the ID or something. It's not. It's not that hard to travel anymore. Everyone kind of fights for tourists to make some money in that one in the industry, so it's not worth it. Trust me. What else can we say about this country? Well, Northern Macedonia looks pretty good, I have to say. Pleasing, impressed again. Albania was the same. Again, apologies for the confusion. Albania wasn't part of Yugoslavia. Northern Macedonia was. Looking pretty good. Looking pretty good, I have to say. Yeah, don't fall for the European Union trap, in my opinion. It's now you got so far by yourself, just don't fall for it. It's not worth it, in my opinion. And who knows, in the next 30 years, probably it's not even gonna be in European Union anymore. So yeah, it's not worth it. You're doing already pretty well comparing with other countries. Yeah, in Europe, you're not at the same level as, let's say, Denmark, for example. But Denmark has some other issues there that you don't want to import that either. So yeah, you need some good leaders, young ones, that doesn't see this European Union as a savior, is more like a trap. So be careful even with that if you go to vote. But yeah, you're looking pretty good, I have to say. It's a pretty nice place. Comparing with what we saw in Africa, not even close. It's like it's a Switzerland compared with Africa, for God's sake. So yeah, that was the video. Check the other one that I make, and see you next time.